Okay, so an easy day today. We are getting into the skeletal system. Last class, I know it was a while ago, right? Like 11 days or something ago, where we talked about what bones we thought were important. I put you guys into groups and some of you guys shared on what you thought, what bones were important and why. Today, we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about that and also do a little bit of a fun little assignment to kind of get your minds working and review in a way. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. And before we start that, I do want to show you your class. So this is your class. And just in case we forgot or we don't know what day it is, I've been getting messages left and right with students asking me or telling me that they can't find the Zoom link. 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, if you can't find the Zoom link for my class in the folder, it probably means that it's not an A day, right? So if you ever forget, right here, it says A/B calendar. If you click that, every month, I always change this up for you, okay? And this is this week, right here, okay? And I will actually make one better for you. Here we go. So if I go here, right, I X this out, image, because I did this earlier and I forgot to add it to your class. So then I save that. Watch what happens. It's magic. Boom. Look at that. You're welcome. Don't ever say I didn't do anything for you because I just did something marvelous for you. All right. This is where we're at right now, whether we are virtual, all remote, or whether we're back in school next week or whatever they decide to do. This is where we are at right now. Okay. And you find that right at the top of your class. All right. Wednesday schedule. So this week, your class does not fall on a Wednesday, but if it did, I have it here for you just in case you forget. 6th period, that's the time. Here's the schedule just in case. Okay. If you haven't really noticed yet, I am very particular. I like to stay organized, and I feel like when I stay organized, it does make it a lot easier for you guys to know where everything is and navigate the page. Okay. As we talked about last week, everything on the first marking period is in its own folder. You don't have to worry about that right now. The one thing I want to show you guys, and I changed the color of the folder, it's called guides. Okay, so if we were in school and everybody was here in front of me, first of all, I do want to show you guys this. You can see me, right? Everyone can see me on the top right? Look how depressing this is. This is so depressing. I'm in here by myself. And my Monday, Tuesday group, I'm never going to meet you, am I? Because I feel like last time I wasn't here and now you guys are home. So, all right, enough about that. So guides, when we are in school, if we were all in school and COVID wasn't a thing, anything I print out and I hand to you guys, like as a handout or like I call them guides, right? They will be in this folder. So obviously I'm not printing anything out. I'm not handing anything out to you guys. I'm not sending anything home to you guys, right? Everything's pretty much virtual now and digital. So everything will be in this folder. Right now, if you were to go on Schoology and click the folder, there's nothing in there. Technically, there's a couple things in there, but I haven't made it visible for you guys yet. But it's right here. So this actually, the skeleton key, I hid it from you guys for today because we're going to do something and I want you guys to kind of take it from your memory and see what you remember. But once this class ends later on today, I will make this visible. So if you guys are ever studying or you're looking through stuff, this is what we went through last class. You can also find this in last week's before break, that week's folder under the Zoom recording, right? So that's that. So let's say I give you guys a reading assignment or something and you're reading something and you're answering questions, that will also go into the guides. So the reason why I did it that way, so if you guys forget something, if you're missing something, if you're like, wait, I read that in the one assignment from 2 weeks ago, but I don't remember which assignment it was. And let's say I'm asking you to write something up or you're taking a test or whatever it is, everything will be in that folder in order. So you don't have to go through and look for, go through every week's folder and look for that specific thing. So I just did that for you to make it easier for you to find things. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. So what are we doing today? Today, we are going to be drawing. All right. Usually we would do this in class and I would give you guys a computer paper out, like just something, like this, and you guys would draw your own skeleton. So if you're anything like me, who can't even draw a stick figure, you might want to trace something. If you are an artist, and there are many talented kids that I've learned over the years that are really amazing artists, really great at drawing, and this might be your niche. This might be something you're really interested in and you want to freehand it and you want to draw it. So what are we drawing? And I'm going to share my screen. If you go into last week, our last class's folder, which is the week of 11/16. Okay. I unhid it from you guys. So if you actually do that right now while I'm talking, you can kind of go into another tab. Go into week of 11/16 folder and click on bones right here where it says bones. We used this on the 20th back when we did this. You'll see this. It's the skeleton. All right. You'll see the skeleton. So if you're anything like me, guys, and you can't draw for crap, you're going to take your paper. And if you don't have computer paper, no big deal. Okay. You can take out regular paper, rip it out of a notebook. If you have loose leaf paper, whatever, you're going to take it, you're going to put it on top of your computer over that drawing, and you're going to trace the skeleton. Okay. And then if you are an artist, unlike me, you can take your time and you can draw it. And some people really get into it. Last period, they just did this. They really liked it. They had a good time with it. So that's what you're doing, and you are drawing. So take a minute right now. You can go and grab, if you have a computer in another room, if you have computer paper, but it's not with you, take a minute, go grab that. If you don't have computer paper, but you have other paper, go into your book bag or wherever it is in your house and grab a piece of paper. And I would suggest a pencil and not a pen, only because if you mess up, you can erase it and it's not smudgy and looking bad. But if you don't have a pencil, it's not a big deal. You can use a pen or whatever you have. So take a second and grab your stuff. Isn't this so 2020 of me, where I have my sanitizer connected to my water bottle? Hashtag 2020. Man, you guys are not talkative at all. That's fine. I'll talk to myself. I'm used to it. All right, anyone need more time? Are we good? Are we ready to roll? I'm going to tell you guys what we're doing. A little bit more detail. So I did this. So I drew it, my beautiful picture. Okay, I lied. I did not draw it. I traced it because I suck, right? But it's easy. And this took me about 10 minutes to trace. It didn't really take me that long. I actually got tape and I just taped it to my computer and drew over around it. And then I scrolled up because it was a little bigger than my actual screen. And then I was able to finish the whole thing. All right. Didn't take that long. Those of you who are artists might take you a little longer, and that's perfectly fine. So you're going to draw that. When you are finished drawing that, without looking at the notes that you took from last class on the 20th, remember last class was all about note taking and the importance of being able to get important information from what your teacher is saying and kind of omit and ignore the information that isn't as important. And you were taking notes on all the bones and where they are, right? So without looking at that, without Googling anything, after you draw your skeleton, I want you to try and label as many bones as you can remember. Listen, that might be 1 bone. That might be 0. That might be 6. I don't care how many it is. If you say, Diamond, I didn't remember any, you're not going to get in trouble. Okay. Today is not about figuring out how many of the 21 bones that we learned last class, how many you remember. What today is about is seeing what you remember, if that makes sense. So you're going to draw it. You're going to label as many as you can that you remember. And then you're going to stop. And then you're going to say, Diamond, I finished. And then you're going to show me your screen and you're going to show me your paper and tell me how many you remembered and how many you wrote down. You're not in trouble if it was just 2 or 3 or 5. Last period, I had the majority of kids remembered 2 to like 7 or 8. I had one person only remember 1 bone, and I had maybe like less than a handful of kids remember more than 10. So it's not a big deal if you don't remember them all. Are we all on the same page? Does everyone know what we're doing? Cool. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. You can write it in the chat if you're nervous and shy. Otherwise, get going, start your drawing, and I'm going to share my screen one more time just for the people who, don't listen. You're going into our class, you're going to click on the week of 11-16 folder, and then you're going to click on bones. That will take you to this. You're either going to freehand draw it on a piece of paper, or you're going to trace it like I did. And then you're going to label as many bones as you can without looking at your notes and without Googling it. So this is just a test to see what you remember right now. Kind of little review for you guys. After you do tell me how many you have and you show it to me, then you will fill it out fully, and then you can look back at your notes to fill it out fully with all 21. Because we are going to be using this finished product next class on Thursday. We will be using it for a little mini project that we're going to do. So you have to make sure that you keep this and it's all labeled with all the bones and fully finished the drawing.